Good day, everyone. Today we're going to discuss the chapter 3. This is entitled The Nature and the Propagation of Light. So we're looking forward on uh, in this chapter we're going to learn what light rays are and how they are related to wave fronts. What laws that govern the reflection and refraction of light, and what are the circumstances under which light is totally reflected at an interface. And then we're gonna discuss how to make polarized light out of ordinary light. Also, how the scattering of light explains the blue color of the sky. And we're gonna discuss the principle named Huygens principle that help us analyze the reflection and the refraction of light. Okay, so a wavefront is a locus of all adjacent points at which phase of a wave is the same. Okay, so in the figure you see here what wavefronts look like. Okay, so spherical wavefronts of sound spread out uniformly in all directions from a point of source. Electromagnetic waves in a vacuum also spread out as shown here. So this is how we describe the wave fronts. It's a spherical. It's moving in all directions, in three-dimensional directions. Okay. It's often convenient to represent a light wave by rays rather than a wave front. So if this is the wave front, this is one, then it is more convenient that we study light as in a concept called rays. Okay. A ray is an imaginary line along a direction of travel of a wave. When waves travel in a homogeneous isotropic material, the rays are always straight lines normal to the wave fronts. So when wave fronts are spherical, the rays radiate from the center of the sphere. Okay, that's the uh, so far away. If you look at this concept in far away from the source, where the radii of the spheres have become very large, a section of spherical surface can be considered as plane wave. And we have a plane wave. So when wave fronts are planar, the rays are perpendicular to the wave fronts and parallel to each other. So so there are two kinds of uh so so when a light ray struck to any kind of surface, when it hits a surface, then there's gonna be a reflection that will happen. Okay, there are two types of reflection. One is the specular reflection, and the other is the diffuse reflection. So, scattered reflection from a rough surface is called the diffuse reflection. So, so this is how we see an object. So the vast majority of objects in the environment are visible to you or to us because of the reflect because they reflect light in a diffuse manner. However, our primary concern in this chapter will be a specular reflection from a very smooth surface such as highly polished glass or metal, like this in figure A. Okay. Now, before we go to the law of refraction and reflection, let's consider this hat here. Okay. So like we said, we are able to see this hat because of the what we call diffuse reflection. Okay. So the light hits the hat and it is being reflected. So and the light rays are being reflected here. So say for example, the light rays was reflected comes from in this direction like that from the hat to this. So we can see that here that the light from that hut is being reflected. Okay, so let me draw an illustration. Okay. Okay. So if the light rays comes here, okay, we see that that light is being reflected. Okay, it's being reflected. So the woman sees here, the woman sees a reflected image of hat. However, we also in the following discussions, we will also know that light is also partly refracted. Okay, so light comes being refracted towards another material. So that's the reason why the man sees the refracted image of hat and the woman sees a reflected image of hat because light rays are reflected and refracted. Okay. So like I said, when light wave strikes a smooth surface separating two transparent materials, the wave is in general partly reflected and partly refracted into a second material. So segments of plane waves can be represented by bundles of rays forming beams of light. For simplicity, we often draw only one ray in each beam. So like this. So now let's discuss what is the law of reflection. The angle of reflection is equal to the angle of incidence for all wavelengths and for any pair of materials. So let's consider this is the incident ray. Okay. So this is the normal. Okay. We call this line here, we call that the normal. So from the normal to the incident ray, we call this as the incident angle. Angle or the incident angle, this is theta A. And as we have discussed, when the light rays hit a material, part of that light is being reflected like this. From the normal, theta r is the angle of reflection. As we all know that light is being refracted also, and this theta b represents the angle of refraction. So we have here two kinds of materials. So this material A here could be air, or this one could be glass, or it could be water. The law of reflection states that the angle of reflection is equal to the angle of incidence. Theta r is equal to theta a. So these angles are measured from the normal to the ray. Okay. Now, let's define what is the index of refraction. So the index of refraction of an optical material, also called the refractive index, denoted by n, is defined as the ratio of the speed of light in the vacuum over the speed of light in the material. For, for cases here, materials B has a larger index of refraction than the material A. So NB is greater than NA. So this is actually sub NB sub A, and the angle theta B is smaller than the angle theta A. Okay. So this is uh theta A. Okay. So the main thing point here is that the angle of refraction of the material, so for example NB is just the ratio of the speed of light in the vacuum and the speed of light in the material. So it depends on the material, and also it depends what kind of light is moving to the vacuum. So for example, we have a yellow light, the red light, or the violet light, are different wavelengths. Okay. Now, there is another law, law of ref, refraction. The law of refraction, also called the Snell's law, states that the angle of the angle of incidence measured from the normal states that the index of refraction of the material A, okay, multiplied by the sine of the angle of incidence is equal to the index of the material B, index of refraction, multiplied the sine of the angle of refraction. Okay. So one thing to note here that uh, the array entering a material with larger index is, for example, this is NB and this is NA. This is NA is where the light rays come, or the angle the incident ray is on that side. So if NB is greater than NA, then usually the refraction bends towards the normal, the refracted ray. And vice versa, if NA is greater than NB, okay, then usually the refracted ray bends away from the normal. Okay. And in some cases, the normal of incidence, the transmitted ray is not bent at all. So this is the case where the angle of incidence is equal to zero, or parallel to the normal. Okay. So what happens is that a ray oriented along the normal does not bend regardless of the material. Okay. Another concept that we should know is that the frequency of a wave does not change when passing from one material to another. So, say for example, we have here a glass of water, okay, okay, and then we have here, so for example, we have here uh, wavelengths. Uh, we have here the speed of light, which is equal to uh, uh, with the wavelength times the frequency. Uh, And then after it pass here, so what happens that the frequency does not change. Okay. However, since the speed here changes, okay, therefore we can conclude that since F is the same in any material as the vacuum, and V is always less than the speed of light in C, so it's traveling here C, and here is V, then uh, uh, then we can say that the wavelength is also correspondingly reduced in after it goes to a second material from the vacuum. So we define that the wavelength of that light in a material is just equal to the ratio of the wavelength of light in a vacuum over the index of refraction of the material. Okay, so the catch here is that, say for example, here we are talking about uh for example, red light. So the red light has a different red light has an index of refraction. For example, we have here water. Okay, water. We have red light. Okay, it has index of refraction n is equal to some value. However, if we're talking about a yellow light, so n will also change. So we can see the relationship between the wavelength and the index of refraction. So, however, let's just focus on the concept where the wavelength of light in a material is equal to the wavelength of light in a vacuum over the index of refraction. We'll discuss this later. So when the wave passes from one material into the second material, the wave gets squeezed, the wavelength gets shorter, and if the wave speed decreases and gets stretched, the wavelength gets longer. And if the speed, then the wave speed increases. So like I said before, we're gonna d- considering that we're gonna consider what we that yellow light, okay? So if this yellow light here travels to this substance here, like water, okay, then the index of refraction of that uh, of water, let's consider this is we're talking about the yellow light, then the index of refraction is 1.33. Okay, so for air also, the index of refraction of this yellow light is equal to 1. So don't forget this because and later on, it could change. Like we have violet light, blue light, red light, something like that. Okay. So let's apply this one to an example or a concept. So we have a material A is a water and material B is a glass with an index of refraction of 1.52. The incident ray makes an angle of 60 degrees with a normal. So find the directions of the reflected and refracted rays. Okay, let's answer this. So first is for let's let's first write all the formula. So the law of refraction states that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. This is the law of reflection. The second is that the index of refraction of the A, where the light is being the incident, uh, uh, we have kung asa where does the incident ray came from, sine of theta A is equal to NB, okay, sine of theta B. So make sure you're using subscript, the same subscript. Don't use like one or something else. We're using A here. We should also use the same subscript on what's being discussed on the classroom. So here, to answer what is the direction of the reflected, so for the reflected rays, okay, so since theta A is equal to 60.0 degrees, and this is equal to theta R, so therefore this is also 60.0 degrees from the normal. So this theta R is equal to 60.0 degrees. Okay. And from the law of refraction, the refracted ray, okay, the direction of this is equal to NA sine of theta A is equal to NB sine of theta B. So we're gonna divide both sides by NB. Okay. So we have here the sine of theta B is equal to the ratio of NA over NB sine of theta A. So your theta B here is equal to the inverse, sine inverse, or arc sine of NA over NB sine of theta A. So this is equal to sine inverse of the ratio 1.33. So this must be a yellow light, and 1.52 glass. So where's 1.52? So it's not given here. Sine of 60 degrees. So our final answer is, so let's me use my calculator. 1.33 uh, sheep sine inverse 1.33 over 1.52 sine of 60. So this is 49.3 degrees. So this is equal to 49.3 degrees. Another example is shown here in example 33.11. Okay. So as shown in figure 33.11, a layer of water covers a slab of material X in a beaker. A light trace traveling upward follows a path indicated. So using the information in the figure, So find the index of refraction of the material X and the angle of the light that makes with the normal to the air. Okay, let's answer first letter A. Okay. So so what is the index of refraction of the material X? So we have here the NX. We have here the NB. Let's consider here the NA. Okay. So we are asking actually, so let's use the law of refraction. So NA, or we call this NX, sine of theta X, where theta X here, okay, the angle of A, or the angle of theta X, is just actually 90 minus 65, which is 25. 90 minus 65 is just equal to 25 degrees. Okay. 60 equals to negative 25 degrees. So we have here the NB sine of theta B. Okay. So this is actually the theta B, the angle of refraction from the normal, measured from the normal. Okay. So to find the this one, let's divide both sides by sine of theta x. Okay. Sine of theta x, or A. So the index of refraction of the x, this is equal to NB times sine of theta B, or sine of theta x. Okay, so this is equal to, this is water. So actually the index of refraction of the water is given NB, okay, is equal to 1.333. But we're gonna use just this one, 1.33. So 1.33 sine of theta B, which is 48 degrees, over sine of 25 degrees. So this is equal to sine of 48 divided by sine of 25. So this is about 2.34, 2.34. 2.34. Okay, so let's answer letter B. So from here, so let's draw a normal here. So let's draw another line here. So for example, green. Okay. So let's draw a normal here. Okay. And light rays will be refracted. Okay, so we have here Na, Na is equal to 1. This will become in air. Okay, let's put in air here. This is it will become N water. Let's put this will become N water. Okay, which is equal to 1.33. So what happens is that uh, it will be refracted like this or like that, towards or away. So let's just analyze what is the answer. Okay, so this is the uh, theta, the angle of refraction, air. Okay, and we need to find this. Okay, to find that, which is the theta. Okay, water. Okay, So actually, so we form here a triangle like that, like this. If if this is 48 here, so this must be also 48 degrees. So theta water is also 48 degrees. Now we can now find the angle of light that makes the with the normal of the air. So for B, so for the solution for letter B, so let's use another a color. So for letter B, okay, let's use the uh, ref law of refraction. Uh, N air, so N water, okay, sine of theta water, theta, okay, water is equal to N air sine of theta air, okay. So our target variable is this, the refracted angle. So let's divide both sides by N air, okay. So maybe let's go back to this, okay. So in the right, okay, sine of theta air, this will be equal to N of water over N of air sine of theta water. Okay. So the angle of refraction of this one, this is equal to, for the water is 1.33 over 1.0, okay, sine of uh, 48 degrees. So if we do our calculation, okay, I mean, it looks like this. Theta air is equal to the sine inverse -1 of this whole function here. So the answer is what? Uh, shift sine 1.33 tapos 1 sine of 48. So we have 81.3 degrees. So uh, so actually it bends away from the normal. Okay. Because somewhat like that. Okay. Or uh, it may look like this. Instead of that, this is the unbend. Okay. It will look like this. This is it would look like this, which is equal to mga 83.1 degrees. This is equal to the theta air. Okay, so that's how you calculate that one. So make sure that if this comes to the exam, make sure that your solution is clear. Okay. So another example here, the example 33.2, the index of refraction in the eye. So we have the wavelength of a red light from a helium neon laser is 63.633 nanometer in air, but 474 nanometer in aqueous humor inside your eyeball. So calculate the index of refraction of the aqueous humor and the speed of and frequency of light in it. Okay, so calculate the index of refraction. So we have here wavelength is equal to the wavelength in the vacuum over this one. Okay, so N will become to this wavelength here in air over the wavelength of that inside the material. Okay, so this is equal to 633 nanometer over 474 nanometer. So this would equal to 633 divide 474. So we have 1.34 is our index of refraction of the aqueous humor, aqueous humor, and the speed and the frequency of light in it. So this, we are also asked to find the speed and the frequency. Okay, so n is equal to the speed of light times v. Okay, so to find the v, this is equal to uh, to find the v, this is equal to the speed of light over the index of refraction. So you have 3.0 times 10 to the 8 meters per second over 1.34. So this is equal to, so 3 times 10 to the 8. So 3 times 10 to the 8 divided by 1.34. So what's the answer? So the answer is about 2.20, 23, 2.24 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. So that is the speed of that the speed of light inside the aqueous humor of, so the frequency, so this is A, the B, and the C. So if you want to find the frequency of the light in it, so V is equal to the lambda F. So we have, it implies that F is just equal to the V over the wavelength. So we have 2.24 times 10 to the 8 meters per second over the wavelength, which is equal to 474 nanometer, or times 10 to the negative 9 meter. Okay, so we have 2.24 the 8 divided by 474 times 10 to the negative 9. It's so the frequency is equal to 4.73 times 10 to the 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 times 10 to the 14 hertz. Okay, that's the frequency.